Hello, everyone. My name is Jared Carpenter, joined by my co-commentator, Chris Yingling. We are here with the League Cup for the Collector's Store in St. Peter's. We are here on a post-recording narration of Round 1, POV Adam W. up against Toby H.
Yeah, hey Jared, glad to join you today. Yeah, good round one here between Adam and Toby. This is our first Collector's Store Regulation I tournament, and so really not a lot of events happening before this tournament. I always love the beginning of a format, and you see a lot of fun things kind of come out of the woodwork. But these guys have decided to be maybe a little bit more standard with their team, starting with Adam going with your Terapagos Calyrex Shadowrider. Recently, Terapagos has kind of risen in usage since some of our events overseas in Utrecht and Bologna. Adam going with that kind of ghost and normal core of the things that work really well against Terapagos are not going to do very well against Calyrex Shadowrider, including fake out pressure that is really good against Terapagos. Calyrex has that Encore Disable lock available to it. Should be an interesting combo there with the normal Amoonguss and Incineroar Rillaboom on Adam's side. And then Toby taking more of a Zamazenta Miraidon sort of look here. Miraidon, nothing special. We've seen that Terra Fairy specs set do very well ever since Restricted has been available. But with that Zamazenta with the dual protect of Wide Guard and Protect, and then just a bunch of mons that really take advantage of that electric terrain in Iron Bundle and Iron Hands with supporting mon Grimmsnarl, and then Ditto, which is really fun in this matchup against a boosting Terapagos, could actually appear and make something of an impact here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super looking forward to the Ditto. I think Stellar Terra is a really good option for a Ditto in general, always guaranteeing you some extra damage on whatever moves from whatever you turn into. Do you know offhand if you Stellar Terra Ditto, switch into something, use like, let's say, a ghost move from Calyrex, then switch out and switch back into, let's say, Rillaboom, would you get the Stellar Terra boost on Grassy Glide if you use that? Do you know if that's how that interaction works?
That's a great question. I think that would probably be something that Leonard is going to know better than I would, but I'd imagine if the memory of the type of move that was used with the Stellar Terra remains in the kind of headspace of Ditto. So if it used the grass move the first time, it would go down in power back to just a regular attack. The second time it used the grass move, even if it's a different Pokemon, different in different circumstance in the battle. But yeah, I mean, I think Stellar is really cool here. You see normally Ditto in Regulation G ran that Terra Ghost, just a generically good typing for when you're copying those Calyrex Shadow Riders, also avoiding the fake out. You also saw a couple Dittos do Terra Grass, just a generically great defensive Terra, does well against Amoonguss. But Toby opting for the Stellar Terra here, which is really interesting, and exactly what you pointed out. It means that no matter what, Ditto does have that little bit of an option for a boost, regardless of what it decides to copy into.
Well, we'll see here in a momentarily that if the lack of Terra Grass against the Amoonguss that Adam has, we'll see if he ends up regretting it or not. So unless you have anything else you'd like to say, I'd like us to just hop into the battle.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So there we go. They should be, yep. And here we go, hopping into the match. Adam versus Toby, our round one production for you, ladies and gentlemen. So we have an interesting situation, Rillaboom versus Miraidon, a tale as old as we've seen terrain in general, honestly. Although, there's Miraidon setting up the electric terrain, and Rillaboom coming in to immediately counteract it with its Grassy Surge ability. So we have 3 of the 4 restricteds out on the field at the start of the match, but I think that Rillaboom being the 4th one out is still pretty good for Adam.
Yeah, I think that this is a net positive for Adam. It does make sure that he gets that that terrain priority there, and gets Terapagos in early to be able to start boosting if that's what Adam wants to do here. It does make Zamazenta very scary here. Obviously, Zamazenta has that that body press that will always, for the entire matchup, threaten Terapagos. Nothing on the field immediately threatens it right now, but does give Adam the Fake Out plus Calm Mind pressure. He could U-turn with his Rillaboom to make sure he always has terrain priority. Lots of options for Adam. Versus the other side here, it's going to be more standard, probably Volt Switch out with Miraidon.
Yeah, so like you were saying, we have the Rillaboom using Fake Out to protect Terapagos from a double up. Terapagos click the Calm Mind, and Miraidon says, hey, I want to be able to get terrain priority later. I'm going to switch out of here, and Volt switches into Terapagos. We'll see what Toby wants to go into without the electric terrain. This Iron Bundle isn't going to be getting its speed boost, but I don't quite think it needs it, honestly. It's already going to be the fastest thing on the field. We see the Calm Mind here just going for +1 in both special attack and special defense. And yep, there's the grassy terrain healing up both Terapagos and the Fake Out chip.
Yeah, really key interaction here. I think it was a great net positive here for Toby, as number one, Terapagos' shell is broken. Number two, you have Miraidon safe in the back to reset terrain. And number three, you just watch Terapagos click Calm Mind there with an Iron Bundle that can definitely go for the Encore there and lock it into the Calm Mind. But we do see that Adam is choosing to protect here and try and save his Terapagos from getting that Encore lock into the Calm Mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if the Rillaboom is able to hit the Iron Bundle with a Grassy Glide here, the Focus Sash will be able to protect it for one more turn, continuing to threaten the Encore lock. So we do see the Terapagos clicking Protect, the Rillaboom clicking Grassy Glide, both teams' priority going. There's the Encore from the Iron Bundle, forcing the Terapagos to be honest. But what is the Zamazenta going to do? A body press, double up into the Terapagos. So this turn ended with an advantage to Adam, I feel like.
Yeah, great advantage for Adam, and crucially here with the Leftovers recovery and the grassy terrain, we are going to see Terapagos regain that that shell. Now, we do know that Toby still has the Encore pressure here, and can always get rid of the Zamazenta switching it out and resetting the terrain so that Rillaboom won't be able to priority Grassy Glide it here. So I think Adam needs to expect that that sort of play is coming here, because you really don't want to have... Oh, it doesn't look like that's going to happen here, though. Good read by Toby.
Yeah, definitely. There's always been the chance of the Miraidon coming in, and if you want to go for the Grassy Glide into that slot, might as well reset the terrain and go into a resisted move. Oh, that body press does so much damage into the Rillaboom, but another Calm Mind coming out from Terapagos, making it really threatening at this point. And the Rillaboom says, hey, I'm not going to let you get this train up for free. I'm going to U-turn out of here and try to get a better matchup going.
Yeah, crucially, we do see that that body press is going to be an easy two-hit KO on Rillaboom for when it comes in later. Also seeing that that you did get that little bit of chip on Zamazenta, that's not going to matter, but getting in the Calyrex here, which is something that is always going to threaten Zamazenta. Remember, this Calyrex has Encore, so locking it in.
You kind of, my co-host cut out there, but yes, locking in the Zamazenta to body press into a Calyrex would be very nice. Something I am slightly concerned about is the Astral Barrage and Terra Starstorm. Both can be blocked by Wide Guard if the Terapagos terastallizes, but it looks like the Rillaboom is coming back out, not wanting to give the Miraidon the Hadron engine, and instead wanting to get the grassy terrain back up. Here comes the Electro Drift, and the Rillaboom hangs on. The Assault Vest managing to do so much work, keeping it around. for a potential switch in later to switch terrain, and then a body press into Terapagos, crucially, with the Terra Shell active, does allow it to not take super effective damage, but the Earth Power super effective +2 special attack just isn't enough to deal with the Zamazenta. Terapagos is healing, but it's not enough in order to regain Terra Shell. Another body press is going to do so much damage, but again, we see that Rillaboom is applying fake out pressure and is wanting to try to protect Terapagos from another attack from the Zamazenta. So we see that what is Miraidon going to do? Going to send another Electro Drift, but with +2 Calm Minds and without the Electric Terrain boost, that doesn't really do all that much to Terapagos. And so we see Terapagos going for Earth Power into Miraidon, and this one's just a clean one-hit KO.
Wow, incredible. Yeah, that's what happens when you have +2 Terapagos. It's going to do a huge amount of damage. But Zamazenta's not in a bad spot right now. It's the fastest thing on the field, and we still have a broken Terra Shell from Terapagos.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we just need to see what Toby wants to bring in to try to handle this duo, and once again, it is the Iron Bundle at very low HP. So
now we do know though that without the electric terrain, I mean, Grassy Glide is pretty freaky here in Iron Bundle. So it kind of depends. Does Adam kind of want to just give up Terapagos here? It's damage is done and trying to win the game here with Zamazenta, or excuse me, with Calyrex. That's definitely an option here. Adam definitely in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a super interesting. It looks like he wants to preserve Rillaboom, maybe as death fodder, maybe to reset grassy terrain for priority later on in the match. Ogerpon comes out, and it looks like potential follow me shenanigans are incoming as a protection comes from Terapagos, protecting it from this icy wind, probably there to just try to chip off Rillaboom, do a little bit to Terapagos, and does a good amount of damage to Ogerpon, being super effective.
Yeah, interesting switch there from Adam. I'm not sure if that was really the optimal play there, because now you do get rid of that Sturdy on Ogerpon, and Sturdy Follow Me could have been a really, really big deal for Adam in this late game, trying to protect the Terapagos from the fighting type moves that are coming out from Zamazenta. But I do think it is probably conservation of that grassy terrain. Only 2 to 3 turns left here. Adam knows that to get through to this end game, he's probably going to need Grassy Glide pressure for the rest of the game, maybe additional fake out pressure. So opting to save that instead of going for what probably would have been a safe Grassy Glide into the bundle.
Yeah, so we definitely see right here a Follow Me coming up from Ogerpon, one of its best options. Freeze Dry coming into it, instantly taking it out. We'll see if that is it. We'll see how the Zamazenta responds. Going for the body press, is that going to just be able to take out Terapagos? And it is. No Terra Shell to protect it this time. And once again, the grassy terrain hasn't faded yet, but it's not long for the match, and we have Calyrex and Rillaboom coming in. And I think this is not a great position for Adam. Chris is having some internet problems, so I'll keep going solo for a little bit. Calyrex is here, but only has Astral Barrage as a move option. It has to worry about Wide Guard being able to completely prevent it from going, but it does have the Disable in order to prevent future Wide Guards. It's a very interesting dynamic that Toby and Adam are going to be playing in this endgame, but I think whoever manages to navigate it correctly is going to be in the best position here to take game 1. So we'll see how Toby responds to the threat of this Astral Barrage coming here momentarily. So here comes the Terapagos Terastallization. Absolutely going to just jack up the power of this Calyrex. And Terastalization's about run its course in this match. Rillaboom is, of course, on such low HP that a defensive Terra Fire probably won't do all that much. But meanwhile, potentially later on in the match, Terra Ghost, Astral Barrage will be able to wound whatever Toby's 4th Pokemon is. And interestingly, a Protect from Zamazenta does mean that Calyrex won't be able to... Well, it will be able to Encore into Protect, but it can't disable a Wide Guard, so... We'll see how wise of a decision that is, but the grass has disappeared. No more grassy terrain healing for any of the Pokemon here, and critically, no more Grassy Glide priority, and just a brilliant move. I was talking about the Ditto at the start of this, and we find ourselves with Ditto coming in, copying the Calyrex, perfectly positioned by Toby, to take advantage of the Calyrex. Now with the Choice Scarf Astral Barrage, it's going to do so much damage to this Calyrex that I think that this might be a one game for Toby. Wide Guard protecting from an Astral Barrage on Adam's side. So the Astral Barrage comes out. Rillaboom, even with an Assault Vest, isn't going to be able to take that. Calyrex down to its Focus Sash. And with that Wide Guard up, it's not going to be able to get a double knockout this turn that it would need to in order to survive the next round of combat. So Disable coming out, going to just try to stop the Ditto from doing anything, going to force it to struggle, but it's not going to be able to save itself from a Heavy Slam, I think, because it will still fall to the struggle that will come out from the Ditto turned Calyrex. Ditto's struggle will do minimal damage, but it's going to do 1 guaranteed, and we see Calyrex, the original one, faint. And so we have Toby's team with effectively 3 restricted Pokemon managed to come out on top in game number 1. A really interesting match, and because we have the benefit of this being a post-commentary, I'm going to pause everything here and see if we can get Chris back before the second game. Okay, so that was just a moment for you all, but we managed to, we believe, get Chris's internet issues abated, and so we are here ready to get back into game number 2 of Adam versus Toby. So with Toby going 1-up in the here, Chris, what do you think Adam needs to make adjustments to in order to come back and make this a 3-game series?
Yeah, so I think there was a really key turn in the middle there that that Adam sort of, I don't want to say the word throw too harshly, but I do think that there was a turn that could have gone better there, and that was when he switched in the Ogerpon and allowed it to get heavily damaged there in pursuit of trying to conserve Rillaboom, when really I don't think he necessarily had to there. That made it so Ogerpon's Sturdy was broken, and then it was killed from the double up the next turn, and Ogerpon wasn't able to protect the Terapagos, which was so key to making sure that the end game was conserved there. So I'd like to think that Adam had kind of the game really kind of figured out there, and I know Adam's a great player. He knows what happened there. He's going to try and adjust there as well. And I think we saw if Calyrex had any more health to it, we saw there that the Encore Disable combo can work for the Calyrex Shadowrider from Adam there. We saw that it had an amount of pressure there in the end game that locked Ditto, which is Choice Scarfed, into a move, whatever move that could be that Toby decides to lock into, and it can lock the Zamazenta into a move that it might not want to go for. Maybe it's that Wide Guard that you don't want to have to click over and over and over. I think Adam has a game plan here. I think he just needs to execute it a little better in game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we will see. It looks like Adam has locked the same 4 Pokemon. He might have come to the same conclusion you did, that I just made a mistake in the middle and I had that game. This 4 is the best 4 I can bring into this matchup. We'll see if Toby agrees with that, or if he brought in something else to try to shake things up. So we have the lead. Iron Bundle coming out immediately this time, along with Zamazenta, and this is really interesting. We have the same lead from Adam, so Grassy Terrain going up uncontested, but Miraidon's in the back, able to potentially contest it on our upcoming turn.
Yeah, so I think really big adjustment here from both players. We do see Iron Bundle come out early, trying to get that pressure from the Icy Wind drops in early. Also, something that threatens a 2-shot on Rillaboom as well, and it conserves the electric terrain a little bit in the back instead of bringing it. Also, you got to think that Adam is a little worried here that Zamazenta could switch out into the Miraidon and get electric terrain, which would make Bundle go extremely fast here. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen this turn, as it's just a probably going to be a double protect here. Yep, just to stall out the fake out turn here from the Rillaboom.
Yeah, absolutely. Rillaboom probably predicting that Zamazenta was going to go for protection of some nature, but really, you have 2 Pokemon with Protect. In this matchup, not a huge threat on this turn for going for the double protect, but there is absolutely a threat with Calyrex having both Encore and Disable, and being currently the fastest thing on the field.
No doubt. That's the big thing here is, yeah, you'll take the double protect every time if you're Adam, because now you can Encore lock something here. However, yep, this is exactly what's going to happen. You can't Encore lock something if it's faster than you, which Iron Bundle is about to be, thanks to that Quark Drive boost that Miraidon is going to give it from that electric terrain, so it is not going to be able to be Encore locked in this turn.
Yeah, so we'll see what the Iron Bundle chooses to do with its newfound speed. Zamazenta switching out, goes for the Icy Wind, doing a little bit of respectable chip to Rillaboom, but more crucially getting the double connect and double speed drops, allowing both of Toby's Pokemon to outspeed everything on Adam's side of the field. Astral Barrage comes out though, still doing crazy good damage, and with a U-turn, that's going to take out the Iron Bundle, the last HP after the Focus Sash, and preserving the Rillaboom for later.
Big turn from Adam there. He predicted that Toby was going to think that he was going to Encore there. Decided to just get that Astral Barrage damage off, which is going to be a 2-shot on that Miraidon. Also getting the Iron Bundle off the field, meaning it's now a 3v4, and you have Rillaboom's Grassy Terrain in the back. Really good turn there from Adam, and kind of brings back the game a little bit with a really nice turn to predict there. It could have very easily been Encore or Disable there from the Calyrex, but decides not to take the bait and does just get that guaranteed damage. Huge turn from Adam.
Absolutely, and here we are with all 4 restricted sharing the field at the same time. Unlike last game, Terapagos doesn't have any Calm Mind boosts up, but it is in electric terrain right now, meaning Miraidon's going to be doing an incredible amount of damage. But we'll see how Adam wants to play around this, if he's going to keep Calyrex in, or, switch into that Rillaboom in order to reset the terrain.
No doubt. You want to protect the Terapagos. It's in danger right now. And remembering the Calyrex is -1 due to that speed drop from earlier. Just making sure that it gets out and is safe so that it can come back out and click some more Astral Barrages later is really important for Adam, as we see a Terastallization here from what I imagine is going to be the Miraidon. Yep. Probably trying to opt for that spread move damage here in Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah, absolutely. Dazzling Gleam, able to do good damage with the Terastallization into what was the Calyrex Shadowrider, and also able to proc off this Terra Shell of Terapagos, making it vulnerable to the body press of Zamazenta. So we see the Rillaboom, again, takes that okay with Assault Vest, but Terapagos goes so low and doesn't go on the offensive. It just clicks Calm Mind instead, getting a good special attack and special defense boost, but at the HP it's at, even with Grassy Terrain and Leftovers Recovery, it's in so much danger.
Yeah, I mean, I like the call from Adam saying, hey, I don't think that this double up is going to kill me, keeping in mind that Zamazenta does not have the Dauntless Shield boost that it got from earlier, because this is its second time on the field. However, I would have loved for him to actually be able to do something with it. Maybe get off an Earth Power into that Zamazenta, just get some chip down on it. Instead goes for a Calm Mind that is really not doing anything here, and now Terapagos is just kind of dead weight for Adam.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the optimal play is here for Adam. Like last game, he doesn't want to just blind switch in the Ogerpon, because with spread damage, Dazzling Gleam is going to just ignore the follow me. So we see it going for Grassy Glide, Rillaboom clicking that into Miraidon, doing good damage. No longer being a dragon type, the Miraidon doesn't resist that grass damage anymore. But we see the Dazzling Gleam come out, Rillaboom still hanging on with the Assault Vest, and the Body Press going into the Terapagos' protection.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good turn for Adam. I was a little worried when he protected, because I do think that that Terapagos is kind of dead weight on the field right now. But I think what it does do is it gives at least the threat for Rillaboom to be able to two-hit KO this Miraidon with Grassy Glide. We did see it did a pretty good amount of damage last turn. So you got to think, is Toby thinking about conserving that Miraidon, getting terrain control here? What is he thinking here? You gotta feel pretty good that this is going to be a body press into the Terapagos slot. So what's Adam going to do? Does he want to try and go for the kill here on this Miraidon, or is he going to predict that Miraidon might want to switch out for whatever Toby might have in the back?
Yeah, it's definitely a tough call. It feels like Adam's got himself slightly into a bad spot here, but we'll see how we're going to continue to play out. Miraidon switching out, like you said, wanting to get that terrain up for later. And once again, here comes the Ditto, switching in and copying the Rillaboom. So going to be able to take advantage of the grassy terrain boost to damage. But Terapagos switches out itself. And if I remember correctly, yes, switching into the Calyrex, protecting itself from a potential body press, being immune, that normal ghost synergy you were talking about before we started the matches. Grassy Glide going into the Ditto, doing decent enough damage with Ditto's low HP set, but the body press, the reads saying, I know you've got a ghost type in the back, so I'm going to take out your Rillaboom and own the terrain wars for the rest of the match.
Yeah, really nice turn there from Toby, not taking the bait, just going ahead and taking the free kill on Rillaboom, knowing that Rillaboom probably wanted to try and get damage down to try and kill the Miraidon there. Doesn't take the bait, stays out there and just delivers a killing blow to Rillaboom. Does win the terrain war now. We do know Ditto has copied the Rillaboom and does have the choice scarf. So right now, it is going to be very interesting to see what speeds look like here for the Calyrex on Adam's side versus the Ditto on Toby's side. It's going to be kind of right in that middle. Unsure whether Ditto's going to be faster than Calyrex. This should be interesting.
Yeah, I don't... it really depends on... it's weird to say this, how Adam trained his Rillaboom. With an Assault Vest, I would have to assume it's more of a bulky, slower spread, so there's a very good chance that without a Icy Wind or any other sort of speed drop on Calyrex, that it's the fastest thing on the field. Not faster than a priority Spiky Shield, though, as Ogerpon's not going for a follow me, wanting to protect itself, but with Grassy Glide and Grassy Terrain, the Scarf doesn't even come into play. But let's go on. Astral Barrage not taking out both Pokemon, and instead of going for Wide Guard to prevent it from taking any damage, the Heavy Slam taking out the Calyrex, making this a 2 versus 3, and putting Adam in a really bad spot, I feel.
Yeah, pretty massive turn there. We see that Rillaboom is opting to lock into Grassy Glide there, which means it's probably going to pick up the Terapagos. Maybe if Adam chooses to Terra here, he can get through it. But the Zamazenta being the fastest thing on the field right now is a big problem, because you have to choose between follow meing or trying to get some amount of damage on Zamazenta right now, and it's just unclear how Adam is going to be able to get through with this Terapagos that just frankly doesn't have a lot of health to be able to work with here. Oh, and by the way, we still have a Miraidon in the back right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Really great terrain management by Toby, taking advantage of the end of the grassy terrain, and when the Ditto has served its purpose, suddenly you don't have to worry because Miraidon's going to set up the electric terrain for him. So that follow me does allow Terapagos to go uncontested this turn, goes for Earth Power, but like last game, it just doesn't do as much as you'd want to this Zamazenta. Really specially defensive Zamazenta. And with that, I just don't see how Adam is going to be able to pull it out in this game.
Yep, it feels pretty clear now that that Toby, basically all he has to do is just body press and win. Terapagos can't do anything into that. Adam's going to try his best here, see what he can do with Protect and grassy terrain recovery, see maybe if there's an outside chance here. Keeping in mind, we did see the Terapagos tank a body press earlier. Now it was from much higher health than it is right now, and also keeping in mind this body press from Zamazenta is at neutral instead of +1 that it normally is with the Dauntless Shield, but I just don't see a world where it's going to be able to do all of it. Adam doing the last thing that he can do, locking into that Terra Starstorm for this turn. But remember, even if it somehow makes it through the turn here of Rillaboom and Zamazenta, it still has to contend with that Miraidon in the back that's going to be able to reset the terrain and just click Specs Electro Drift. So this is just the beginning of the end, unfortunately, for Adam.
Yeah, so he was right that with the extra HP from Terapagos' Terastallization, it would be able to survive a body press, but with the Choice Scarf, Grassy Glide, even without the priority, it's still faster than Terapagos, and Terapagos is going to go down. So a 2-0 victory for Toby here in the round 1 of the League Cup at the Collector's Store.
Yeah, unfortunately for Adam, there just wasn't a lot he could do there. I think when you sit down and lock in Terapagos, Calyrex, Shadowrider, you're just really hoping that you don't face Zamazenta. Zamazenta's very, very good into that matchup, especially when your Shadowrider only has the spread move Astro Barrage as the only offensive move. So Wide Guard basically takes you out. You always have to be worried about redirecting or fake outing the Zamazenta. So unfortunately, well fought by Adam, but Toby kind of had it in the matchup, unfortunately, and was able to get the win. Congratulations to Toby as moves on to the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna end the video here, guys. Feel free and please like, comment, subscribe, and click on the next video in the playlist, which will be round number 2. See you there.